everyone, how are you doing? I hope everybody is doing well. So life skills, the journey, ये सेशंस चल रहे हैं, एक्सपर्ट्स आ रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्री के बारे में बात हो रही है, टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में बात हो रही है, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स के बारे में बात हो रही है. ऐसे ही आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं सीए प्लस आईआईएम, है ना. हम में से काफी लोगों को चाहिए कि यार मैं एक बार तो भी एमबीए कर लूं आईआईएम से. तो इसके बारे में हम जानना चाहेंगे. आज मेरे साथ इशिता है. लेट मी क्विकली इंट्रोड्यूस हर. सो इशिता ये रैंक होल्डर है आईआईएम इंदौर से. उन्होंने उनका एमबीए कंप्लीट किया है. देन शी स्टूड सेकंड अक्रॉस द पुणे इन सीबीएसई एग्जाम. देन यू नो व्हाट, शी हैज एकेडमिक एक्सीलेंस. मैथ्स है, ओलंपियाड है, या फिर आपका एबेकस कंपटीशन है. ऑल इंडिया रैंकर 48 है सीए इंटर में. She was awarded exemptions in 5 out of 7 subjects in CA Inter and 5 out of 8 subjects in CA Final. Okay, so she mentioned including financial management, accounting, and costing in both levels. So she secured a rank in top 10 percentile in year 1 of MBA at IIM Indore with a rank of 29 out of 572 among top 1 percentile in finance and costing. Also, she was top 1% among 1 million plus students of the world in advanced strategic business simulation by marketplace simulations. उन्होंने इंटर्नशिप की है जेपी मॉर्गन चेज एंड कंपनी मुंबई से, ENY पुणे से. एंड उनका वर्क एक्सपीरियंस रहा है ऑडिट्स में. क्रॉस फंक्शनल कोऑर्डिनेशन किया है उन्होंने. रिपोर्टिंग लीड थे. प्रिपेयर्ड की डिलीवर्स, जो डिलीवरेबल्स है, सैप सिस्टम है या फिर आपका डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स है, इनमें भी आपने काम किया है. और जो बहुत मेरे विच इज क्लोजर टू माय हार्ट इज लाइक, उन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छा फिलॉन्थ्रफी एक्टिविटी उनके इस पे शुरू किया था. उनके बारे में भी हम बात करेंगे कि उन्होंने क्या क्या किया. आईआईएम इंदौर के पोजीशंस ऑफ रिस्पांसिबिलिटी की अगर हम बात करेंगे तो वो शेयर आईआईएम इंदौर के लर्निंग यूनिट मैनेजर थे. जूनियर मेंबर थे प्लेसमेंट प्रिपरेशन कमेटी के. जूनियर मेंबर थे शेयर आईआईएम चैप्टर्स में. को फाउंडर थे स्प्रेड स्माइल, या विच आई सेड वेंचर था कि को फाउंडर स्प्रेड स्माइल विद अस एनजीओ उन्होंने किया है, जो उन्होंने 880 प्लस रिफर्बिश नोटबुक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए हैं. ईवाई में वो हाउस कैप्टन थे एनुअल स्पोर्ट्स कंपटीशन ईवाई के इसमें. सो ये बहुत ही डाइवर्सिफाई एक्सपीरियंस है. बहुत अच्छे से उन्होंने हमेशा से काम करते आए हैं. सो इशिता, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग हियर. वी वुड लव टू नो अबाउट योर लाइफ जर्नी कि कैसे सीए में रैंक लाया प्लस आईआईएम किया. सो टेल अस अबाउट योर जर्नी. और जो हम स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्हें व्हाट कि यार सीए पास होना इतना डिफिकल्ट है, तो रैंक लाना इज समथिंग ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट थिंग. तो इसके बारे में आप जरूर बताइए हमें.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Itna kind introduction ke liye, and thank you for being so generous as to having me on the talk here today. And before going ahead, Nico, I just want to really thank you on record for being an inspiration for me personally, because very few women in power you get to interact with, in spite of being in the corporate surroundings for a long time. And you've always been so active, so confident, so up for doing something or the other. And in India and UK, you've always scaled it everywhere. So thank you so much for inspiring me, and I'm sure so many others who follow you. So to talk about my journey, as ma'am briefly mentioned, I went on to do my CA. That was a very conventional decision कि science नहीं करना था, commerce करना था. फिर उसके बाद CA ले लिया. And then as I did my articleship in EY for 3 years, I worked after that in EY for 2 years, all in the statutory audit department. And that's when I kind of realized that I find it very exciting, the kind of jobs that the people on the other side of the table do. Strategizing, how do you market, which models do you release now, what do you do next, to just have a better performance and just do good. So that's when I kind of realized that वो spark मेरे अंदर जगा कि मुझे MBA करना है. इसका प्लान बिल्कुल भी नहीं था. मैंने तो सीए फाइनल एग्जाम्स के बाद डिक्लेयर कर दिया था आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कार्ड माय स्टडी टेबल. So this happened very organically, and I thought MBA would be a good thing to do. So that's how I went on to prepare for the exams. Went on to the further processes of GDPI and got selected in IIM Indore finally. So that was briefly about my journey. And
Yeah.
there's nothing very fancy about like कि मेरे को rank आया या मैंने क्या किया. It's just it has all been just a fluke to being very scared of failing.
Right.
So just working really hard.
What are three components, if you would like to tell us, that three major elements which helped you to crack the exams, and be it CA, be it MBA, what would those three things?
So I think in my journey, I've always made sure कि मेरे जो journey का track रहा है उसके कुछ 3 pillars हैं जो कभी I don't compromise on them, and I've realized that whenever I take any of it lightly, there is some turbulence I face. So I think the first one would absolutely have to be honesty, and I don't say this in a preachy manner. I know it's old cliche and oversold, but whenever you're honest in what you do and what you say, it's going to reflect, whether it's in your any kind of relationship, in your friendships, in the work that you do. You're valued when you're indispensable, when you're dependable. In a friendship, you would not want to be with someone who you cannot trust. In work, you cannot depend on somebody who you cannot trust. Just be a trustworthy person, be honest, be ethical. And I think that has taken me personally to places, in the sense मेरा जितना भी work experience रहा है, जितने friendships रहे हैं, I think this has been a very key element. Another one I would say extremely important is consistency. Hard work, no doubt, there is no substitute for it. But consistency for me has played a very important role. And whether it was my 12th exams, whether it was my IPCC, CA final, my work, or whatever. And I realized this the first time in the 12th standard, when I was kind of facing an issue, a personal issue, about 3 to 4 months before the 12th board exams. And I just could not get myself to study for the next month or two, but I knew I had to do it. So, in spite of wasting so much time, I was able to get back on track because, thank God, I was, consistent throughout the year. I had my notes and everything, and mainly revision bacha tha. So, that's when I realized that consistency can do magical things. And I got a good score, not just a good score, I actually topped the city of Pune in the commerce stream. So that for me was a huge revelation, and I decided I have to be consistent. And that kind of flowed into my IPCC journey. Again, about 3 months before the exam, I was hospitalized with some eye and mouth allergies. So I could not see, I could not so I was missing my classes, but it's not like I could sit at home and like practice something or do some accounts के sums या कुछ भी मैं नहीं कर पा रही थी आंखों से. So yes, I panicked. Initially, I did, because you lose 10 days in IPCC preparations, and that's a huge amount. But then I also knew that there is no use crying over spilt milk, which kind of also brings me to my third pillar, that just be positive. Don't just try to see the good side of things and move on. Don't cry over spilt milk. Look for the next best solution. So I immediately, I contacted some of my friends, and I requested the professors that if it's okay with them, they could record the lectures and send them to me. So I sunti thi usko 2-3 baar, so that it could compensate for the time I could not sit and practice. And incidentally, again in IPCC, I got a rank of 48. So consistency has always worked. There'll be a lot of days when जैसे CA final में भी बहुत hectic हो जाएगा सब. There'll be class in the morning, work in the day, and then again you go back home and study. So you'll feel like अरे चलो class miss कर देते हैं, ये कर देते हैं. That's the easy way out. Unfortunately, there is no easy way out. So or whenever I felt like missing classes, I just made sure कि मैं class चली जाती थी. Even if I could not comprehend what the professor was saying because I was too tired or whatever, I used to make sure at least I was writing down whatever he was writing on the board or whatever he was dictating. So फिर मुझे बस इतना effort बचा था कि once I'm rejuvenated, I have to go back to my notes, understand what he was actually saying, and that's it. I'm done. Otherwise, go around people asking for notes. फिर उससे कुछ miss हो गया क्योंकि वो सो रहा था या उससे miss हुआ था. You increase your effort unnecessarily, and consistency really reduces that effort.
Right.
So for me, these three are very important. And if I might just add one small thing related to positivity, which I kind of learned very coincidentally, but it was actually a conversation between my mom and a friend, and it was a regular, New Year wish.
Right.
where my mom had called her up, and auntie was like, was just informing my mom that both of her children had got chickenpox. So the
Okay.
first reaction of anybody is like, oh God, साल के शुरू में क्या हो गया, and वो अब पता नहीं बाकी साल कैसा जाएगा. But her reaction was surprisingly, that auntie, she was like, चल अच्छा जो होना था साल के शुरू में हो गया, बाकी साल अच्छा जाएगा.
जाएगा.
So the kind of energy that you send out, you talk to 10 people and सबको तुम यही बोल रहे हो पता नहीं क्या होगा, versus to everybody you're telling कि चल अच्छा है शुरू में ही हो गया बाकी साल अच्छा जाएगा. That positivity matters a lot.
Right.
And I've seen the magic of it work again and again and again. So just try to be positive. And if somebody, if you cannot be positive, go to somebody. If you cannot find anybody, come to me. I will help you be positive. It's not always easy. Sometimes you have to fake
Right.
it, but it works
Right.
magically.
Yeah, fake it till you make it, isn't it? Yeah, so those are absolutely the bigger elements. Like you got to be honest, you got to be consistent. There is no shortcut for success. होता तो इशिता बता देती, isn't it? तो इशिता ने बोला कि नहीं है तो नहीं है, right? It is coming from the horse's mouth. So yeah, honesty, consistency, and positivity. Yeah, they are quite important elements in our exams. तो ये अपने जैसे ही लोग हैं, ये रैंकर है, मतलब कुछ हेलो वैसा कुछ नहीं है. They're just normal people like you and me, and what makes them different is these three approach, right? She was kind of so consistent, honest, and positive, right? चलिए इशिता, बात करते हैं. IIM करना है मुझे, क्या करना पड़ेगा, है ना? कैट देनी होगी. यार मैथ्स मत करा लेना, बाकी सब कुछ करा लो. So is it, I mean, please help us to understand. अगर मैं मिड साइज फर्म से हूँ, मिड साइज सिटी से हूँ, या फिर मैं बिग फोर मैंने नहीं किया है, तो मैंने कब करना चाहिए, कैट कैसे एग्जाम होते हैं, ये सब के बारे में बात कीजिए प्लीज.
Sure. So I guess we can start. I'll start with कि there is no limiting factor कभी भी, कि you do not need to worry कि तुम्हारे you've done it from a big four or a mid-size, you've done it from how many attempts do you have, you were in a small city, big city, you have a gap year, nothing. Don't worry so much about it. See, so there is a they see a holistic person. Okay, so they will see your CAT score, the GDPI, your GDPI performance is your group discussion and personal interview performance. They'll see your past performance in your 10th and 12th boards and your graduation. So you have, and they'll also see, of course, they'll also give a certain weightage to whether you have a work-ex or not, and whether you're an engineer or a non-engineer. Non-engineers have slightly advantage because unka cutoff of CAT comes down. So when you see there are so many components, it increases your chance to take control of everything that is happening. Okay. So now तुम्हारा past performance तो हो गया 10, 12 graduation, you cannot change it, but you have the others in your hand. So coming to the CAT, the next step is now CAT के पहले तुम exam तो दो. Preparing for that, you basically have 3 sections. You have the quantitative aptitude. Sorry to say, but maths hai isme. You have logical reasoning and the data interpretation, and you have a verbal section to test your English and your comprehension skills.
Right.
So, so iski preparation ke liye, so of course, there's a lot of detail which the professionals will be able to dwell on better. But when can you start? Should you join a coaching or not? These are some things that I can touch upon. When can you start? See, the exams happen every November, December के around होता है. So the earlier you start, the better. You start from Jan, Feb, April. It will help you. Should you leave your work to accommodate this? Not really. So unless your working hours are too demanding, too long, yes, you might have to consider some options. So even then, instead of completely leaving the job, you can probably search for another one with better timings. You can take a sabbatical. You can basically what suits you best. Of course, if you don't have any leave on your resume, it'll be better. But again, I'll come back to this point later as well. That does not matter even if you do have a gap year. When can you start preparing and whether you should join a coaching or not? I think you should. Because there are so the CAT exam is not just about accuracy, it is about speed. You need to do a lot within a stipulated amount of time. So to be able to do that, the professors over the years have come up with a lot of ways to do things faster, solve 15-minute long math problems within a minute, using various techniques. So it's always good to join a coaching class, especially about CA ka background. CA's ka syllabus is not really overlapping with the CAT this thing. So joining a coaching will definitely help. Apart from this, you also have something called the mock tests that keep happening, and they start from April. So there are two coaching classes mainly, you must have heard, and there are more: Time, IMS, Career Launcher, a lot of them. So basically, I had joined the mock series of both tests of both Time and IMS, and and they start from April itself, as I said. But at that time, your preparation is very nascent. But that does not mean that you do not give the mock test. You get to learn at least the kind of questions that are asked, syllabus kya hota hai, kaisa format hota hai. You get to learn a lot from the mock test. So so even if you're just starting to prepare, give the mock tests anyway. And फिर prepare करते रहो, mock tests देते रहो, and that's how you kind of move towards that journey,
right,
and finish with CAT.
राइट
फिर
मिड साइज से आए तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, और मुझे मल्टीपल अटेम्प्ट्स आए तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, या हाउ डू यू शोकेस इट कि मुझे मल्टीपल अटेम्प्ट्स लगे, देन व्हाट वुड बी there will be no right or wrong answers, but then how you can present yourself.
So as I said, like, they look at a holistic individual. Now, everybody has a different journey, and it's what you learn from that journey, how you look at the journey, and how, whether you correct your mistakes. I mean, there's a lot, that contributes to you being who you are. So whether you're from a big four or a mid-size, your confidence does not depend on that. Your level of knowledge does not depend on that. Leadership, are you qualified for it or not, also does not depend on that. It just depends on how much effort you've taken, how you have added to value to the work that you were given, whether you were in a big four or in a mid-sized. So uska wo chodo, like, even in my batch of MBA, we were 11 CAs, and we had a complete mix. We had people with a lot of work ex, but some with no work ex, some from a mid-sized firm, some from big fours, some with first attempt, clearance, some with multiple attempts. So it does not matter. What matters is how you build your own story. So again, like, as you said, number of attempts, it does not matter. So personally, I feel that just attempts hue hain, they're really strong people because they've tasted failure, and that first failure is like the worst. Like, I feel if I would have been in that place, I would have given up. So if someone has actually tasted it, overcome it, motivated themselves to do it all over again so that they can pass it, that's a huge strength. So build a narrative around that, so instead of going in an underconfident manner that, oh my god, I have more than one attempt, go inside and say that I've tasted failure, man, I can get over it, and this is my strength. And that's it. And that the interview will definitely see you for it, the recruiter, interviewer, anybody. So whatever you have, make the most of it and build a confident narrative around it, because if you've put in honest effort, then nobody can doubt you.
Right.
So
that is such a beautiful way to celebrate your failures and actually turn it to your positives, because, and on a lighter note, I always used to say, if I'm having multiple attempts, that means I'm more updated. I've done it more times. So absolutely. I know the concepts much more better than anybody who's clearing for the very first attempt. Not to disrespect or disregard to the first attempt or ranker, but then just on a lighter note, rank नहीं आया तो क्या हुआ, multiple तो क्या हुआ, मैंने multiple time वो पढ़ा है, तो it is like अभी भी दिमाग में है, right? So thank you. Bringing that fresh perspective in our minds that it's okay to have multiple failures. It's okay to not to be from big four. It is okay coming from small city, doing medium size work. So that does not really matter. So CAT के बारे में उन्होंने बताया कि they start as early as you can. Coaching लगाइए. that would help you out. And then, yeah, again, I believe honesty, sincerity, consistency would also play a greater part to it. And of course, मुझे इशिता लगता है कि that you were having your philanthropy activity, इसका भी added advantage हुआ, या how is it like, because only sensitive people or sensible people really would do something out of their out of the way, and they try to help underprivileged people. So now that your philanthropy activity spread the smile, so tell us about that. That did that really help you, or how is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the objective of looking at it is that everybody now wants to build socially conscious managers,
Correct.
and which is
Correct.
also very essential in today's day and age.
Right.
So when you see that somebody has a volunteering experience with any NGO, they've done anything, they've taken an initiative, it definitely helps. I'm sure it must have helped me also when I had my interviews. The fact that, first of all, it was a social cause, and secondly, because it was me who had founded it and leading it with a few of my friends. So that also kind of shows that, okay, there is some kind of leadership quality, and what is my view. So they ask all sorts of questions around it also. So you cannot fake anything, and you shouldn't fake anything, because वो उनको ऐसे ही पता चल जाता है. So it helps if you've done it genuinely.
Correct. So be genuine. And क्यों नहीं contribute करेंगे? जब हमसे underprivileged लोगों से हम जब बात करते तो अपनी personality जो निखर के आती है, it is unparalleled, right? Because that seva that you give to the society, giving back to the society, learning from it, it's something that no bookish knowledge would give that give that confidence or give that nature to you, right? So yeah, that was that. And now coming to the favorite part of it, PD, GD and personal interviews, कैसा रहा? क्योंकि GMCS में हम लेते हैं दो दिनों का रहता है. It is just, GMCS is equal to fun. Please break that myth. It is not for the fun. आप जितना अच्छे से करोगे उतना अच्छे से आप perform कर पाओगे, because that is the only platform where you will be get trained कि यार GD के बारे में हो रहा है या PI के बारे में बातें हो रही है. So I would definitely tell you that make the most out of it. But let's hear it from Ishita that कैसा रहा आपका group discussion? Easy था, नहीं easy था, current affairs रहता है, abstract रहता है. For me it was like pink is new black. I swear, I mean, मुझे actually पता नहीं थी what do you mean by pink is new black. Then I literally waited for my turn. I collated, gathered some of my because it was totally new for me. I never ever knew about that topic. But then that was really a catch-22 situation. How did you handle that? Was that a showstopper for you that we never had group discussions that we had, or personal interviews? So there are a lot of internet GAN is going here and there, and a lot of tricky questions. What is the color of the wall behind you? So obviously what is in front of you would be the back of you. No, it is not necessary. Now the walls can be colorful, right? So did you sort of encounter with such kind of tricky, stupid, silly, yet important questions, or group discussion, or maybe any goof up that you would like us to, beware or cautious about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, one mantra for GDPI, know yourself and know your general affairs. So you need to know yourself. Why do you want to do an MBA? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How has your journey been like? What do you plan to do in the next 5 to 10 years? Of course, not a blueprint plan. Like, you need to be very clear in life what to do. But if you do not know yourself, then the opposite person cannot build that confidence in you. Okay, should I really take him into a managerial position or not? So know yourself very well. Who am I? What do I like? What do I dislike? Don't limit yourself to. So when someone asks you, who are you? Don't say that मैं CA हूँ, मैंने यहाँ काम किया नहीं किया. No, just add some adjectives. I'm a fun-loving person. I like to dance. I like to do this. So know yourself, know your general affairs. So again, as Man said in the GDs, GD topics, of course, they can be based on general affairs, or they can be abstract, like pink is in black. So they'll just give you a topic called zero, or they'll give you a topic called red and blue. So what do you do, right? So abstract topics में they just want to know how different you can think. तुम कितने perspectives ला सकते हो. You can talk about blood. You can talk about, I mean, so many things that you can talk about. So abstract is something that, yeah, it's a bit tricky.
Tricky.
But yeah.
So yeah, there will be
And
political, current affairs, or maybe your technical aspect, yeah? Or maybe interest rate or deficit financing cannot go hand in hand. That was my topic.
yeah.
I was like, all right, bring it on, because I knew it. So yeah, I can. Current affairs. Ishita, is it necessary that you should understand economic times from page 1 to last page? Not necessary,
No,
isn't it?
not
Even
really.
your vernacular medium like Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, whatever you are, any local newspaper will serve the purpose, right? So please
Yeah.
read through it. And for English, we do not. How about it? You just tell us. So
Yeah. So it's
is it like super fine English, like superlative degree, or just the basic English that conveys your message is important, or having Shashi Tharoor English is more important?
Absolutely not. Very basic English will be very good to go. You should just know about the affairs, what's happening. You're a CA, so you will be a little more expected to know, say, about the budget, about the frauds that were happening, and things like that. But they are also very this thing. क्या बोलते हैं, considerate. So they will ask you, okay, is there any specific thing that interests you? So if it also have that in mind, yeah, this is something that interests me. Like I've seen interviews where somebody said Harry Potter, and वो interview Harry Potter पे चला and वो select हो गया. So they look for passion. They look for something that, oh, this person really likes to do something about it and knows so much about it. They can talk about it. They have a passion in life. So अगर इसको सच में कुछ करना है तो वो करेगा. So just keep and रही बात English की, as I said, very basic will do. General affairs, apps like InShorts, which give you daily news about something or the other, or very nice platforms like FinShots and everything that have also come up. You read them and you get to know a lot in simple language. So just keep reading anywhere. It does not matter what you're reading from, vernacular ho ya English ho ya kuch bhi ho. Keep yourself updated. It reflects a lot on because ultimately your business, you have to keep thinking from interviewer point of view. कि वो अगर मैनेजर बना रहा है कोई, तो वो यही सोचेगा कि बिजनेस को क्या 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 इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है जो आजकल चल रहा है. तो the manager needs to know all of that, and that's why they want you to know the general affairs. So that's
about it. Yes. And रही बात, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात, CA is sufficient या फिर IIM करना क्या फायदा है? मैं तो फायदे की बारे में बातें करती हूँ, तो क्या फायदा होता है, मैं क्यों IIM करूँ? What is that distinguishing factor? I mean, we all know, right? We have great alumni status. Your co-curricular people are from that category. So your connects, your networking is of that. But they don't pay our bills, right? In the end, we get recruited, or we start something on our own, or we start our consultancy or something, or our CA thing. So is it any differentiation? A simple CA would fetch some particular amount, and CA plus IIM would fetch some plus something. Is it that differentiating? CA fresher will get a number crunching job. Just, in the end, the entire data will given to him, and just he needs to make the sense out of it. And CA plus IIM would give the managerial roles or management related decision or strategic decision making roles immediately without having any experience about that role. So only curriculum, only reading through or going through that particular MBA course, will that make any CA that capable to get into management roles and really move the management according to their needs? So what is your take on it? Did that help you in grabbing your very first job opportunity, or it is just like any other candidate?
Yeah. So yes, to be very straightforward, CA plus MBA, once you pass out, the salary that you get, it will be more than what you would have gotten as a CA, but only in the initial years. So if you even a normal CA. So suppose both of them are in a certain company, say, okay, any corporate, I won't name anything. And maybe MBA guy has started a little upper and CA wala has started niche se. If the CA shows that much promise, if he takes initiative, he or she takes initiative, they're leading teams, they're communicating well, they're doing the job well, they're taking more responsibilities, they will move up the ladder without a doubt. And the same thing if the MBA person does not do, he's going to be moving slowly. So I will agree that the MBA degree gives you a head start, but then after that it's all you take, because I've seen even across my audit career, I've seen CAs and everything who are CEOs and CFOs of huge giant companies. So it's not limited to MBA, but in MBA I've learned a lot. So the case studies that we used to have, first you go through the entire case study and you learn so much about what they did. You learn about their mistakes and their strengths, and then you have a discussion about it in the class, and everybody gives their opinion. What could they have done better? What else could have been better? So and there are just so many things that I learned. Again, networking, talking to people, meeting with them, having a network. And then the thing about MBA is also that the MBA placements are done in managerial jobs and they move on to become CXOs. So then you have indirectly you have made a network with the CXOs, the future CXOs. So definitely MBA gives you a lot. So, and I won't just say it for the brand value. I've actually learned a lot from the classes and everything. So it definitely helps, but that does not mean that agar MBA nahi kiya to it's the end of the world, because I've seen a lot of CAs do incredibly well.
Yes.
So it's a lot depends on your own initiative.
Correct. I mean, as Ishita said, कि MBA, Ishita, क्या missing है अपने CA curriculum में और MBA के curriculum में? क्या difference आपको समझा कि अरे यार ये तो मैंने CA में पढ़ा था, लेकिन यहाँ पे कुछ अलग पढ़ा? तो ऐसे कोई elements did you encounter with?
Yeah, so this was both in the technical as well as the soft skills part. So in example technical में अगर ले लो तो कोई भी finance course अगर हम पढ़ रहे हैं तो उसमें भी say come up with an entire valuation and everything. So we know how to do the costing, we know how to do valuation. And in MBA, we actually went a step ahead and kind of evaluated that does it make sense given all these things that are happening around the business. ये मेरा long-term plan है, ये company का ये है. So how do you analyze it as a manager to be able to take a decision based on that? So there were some things which MBA introduces over and above the thing that you've learned, because they don't just teach you how to solve a certain thing, but ultimately as a manager, how can you take a decision in the light of
application of mind condition. Is what you are referring at. Yes. So how do you, just not a bookish knowledge, we know, I mean, romancing with balance sheet, in short. They exactly. teach us that, okay, this is the balance sheet. What do you understand from that? We all learn ratios, right? So what do you actually mean by that when there comes FP&A rules, financial planning and analysis role? So there it comes your analytical skills, where we know the bookish knowledge of it in the hindsight जो हमने CA में किया, but it is just not sufficient, right? So ये सब है. Well, so we are running towards the end of our session. Ishita, एक कौन सा चीज है जो आप हमेशा ऑल इज वेल बोलते हो? एक आपकी एंड नोट रहेगी जहां पे आप फर्म बिलीवर हो कि यार ये कर लो, बस हो गया, राइट? सो ऐसा कोई टर्मिनोलॉजी है या फिर कुछ भी जिसपे आप बहुत अच्छे से you think कि उसने आपको sail through the most difficult processes, most difficult situations से बाहर निकाला है? So what would be that line?
I think there are some quotes that kind of stay with you, and मेरे साथ एक बहुत अच्छा सा quote था कि if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? So there's a reason it is not easy, and there's a reason that you're going to go and achieve that.
Correct.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Correct.
But you're special. You have to go ahead and go that next mile and do it. Right. So generally, I think of that. There's also this beautiful question. It's very short thing, but if not you, then who? Okay.
Oh my God, this is my father always used to tell me, Sayali, if it is not you, then who? अगर तुम नहीं करोगे तो फिर कौन करेगा? अगर तुम नहीं कर सकते, अभी नहीं करोगे, and then he used to add into that, अभी नहीं करोगे तो कब करोगे? Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for bringing that. It's like childhood memory coming back to me. Yeah, so great. और अभी एग्जाम्स आ रहे हैं नजदीक, जो भी आपको क्विक टिप्स एंड टेक्निक्स देने हैं, तो क्या आप देना चाहोगे?
I think just believe in yourself. Like मुझे अभी भी याद है CA final के एक महीने पहले I had almost given up. But there were two mentors who just stayed by me and they're like, you know, it's you, you're going to be able to do it. So just have that self-confidence. There are a few things that, you know, you can avoid. Like don't talk to a lot of people. Maybe keep a one or two handful of people. क्योंकि क्या होता है, intentionally or not intentionally, I don't know. बट कभी कोई डाउट भी पूछ लिया, देन यू लाइक, ओ माय गॉड आई डोंट नो दिस, तो एक महीना बच्चा है, अब मैं क्या क्या करूँ? तो डोंट टॉक टू अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल. आई रिमेंबर वन समवन हैड इवन
परफॉर्मेंस
मैसेज्ड
प्रेशर.
मी. या तो मैंने उनको बोल दिया था कि आई एम रियली सॉरी बट आई एम नॉट इन अ स्टेट ऑफ माइंड वेयर आई विल बी एबल टू आंसर क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज़ आई एम बिकमिंग एंग्शियस एंड दैट्स ओके. सो कीप योर डिस्टेंस. पेपर खत्म होने के बाद
Don't discuss it.
talk to anybody. Yeah, just run out of the hall, sit in the car and go back home. That's all. Don't look at the paper again. Don't talk to anybody about it. And just keep at it. Like mere original, it's okay if things don't go as per your plan, because mere original plan I wanted to do 2 mock series before the exam. I didn't even do one. I literally just had कि मैं एक theory paper का mock दे दूँ, एक practical का दे दूँ कि मेरे से हो भी रहा है कि नहीं, बस उतना. Things don't go as per your plan. Yeah, don't worry about the number of times. Some people will say मेरा 5 बार हो गया, 4 बार हो गया, 3 बार हो गया. It's okay अगर तुम्हारा 2 बार हुआ है, because मेरे को ये पैनिक हुआ था. And then one very, very wise senior, thank the words, he told me that don't worry. Quality matters over quantity, and it did. Yes. Because I know a few people who said, oh, I went so many times, but I ended up scoring more than them. So do not panic. Don't bother about all these things. You've come this far for a reason. You've done articleship, you've done IPCC, you've done everything. You just need to tell your brain that you can do it and just go ahead and do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ishita. We touched base on so many important aspects in our life, CA plus MBA from IIM, how it shapes you as a person, as a professional, kaise hum differentiate hote hai, what are the career opportunities that you get in, like there are multiple opportunities that you get independent, whether you are taking finance as your major, or accounts as your major, or marketing as your major, or sales as your major, right? So that would definitely shape up your career the way you take it, because that is kind of a specialization that you're gaining, right? So people, if you have any questions, if you have any doubt, if you want to get associated with her in her philanthropy activity, all the details are shared in the comment box. Please reach out to her. I know she was also participating in one of the philanthropy activities where when people cannot read through, right? So she was actually recording the lectures, or actually recording the entire text for them. So that voiceover, if you can get associated with. So these are the things which which keep her so different than others, and that's how we meet a lot of people, but few people really have this impact on us. So Ishita is one of them. I met her like in GMC's batch, but still I remember she was doing something different, right? So all the very best. Do something different that you are. I mean, do it the way you want to do it, because it is unique. It is just the way you are, right? So on that note, thank you so much, Ishita, once again for being here, for sharing your candid experiences, and so much of it is coming from the horse's mouth, right? So it requires no validations. So thank you for sharing that knowledge with us, and I would love to see you again and again on this platform. We would try and bring you again for the group discussion and PI discussions ahead. So thank you people for watching us. And thanks, Ishita.
Just thank you so much for having me here, and I really admire you, and thank you for being so generous.
Likewise. It's mutual. Right. All right, people, then I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll bring some more interesting stories, some interesting people. Till then, take very good care of yourself, very well hydrated, and all the best for your exams. Bye-bye.